The Grootrivier Poort on the R332 was one of the last passes to be built by South Africa's most famous road engineer, Thomas Bain. This masterpiece of road engineering opened up the seemingly impassable 200-kilometer-long mountain wilderness of the Baviaanskloof between Willowmore and Patensie. The Poort only has 16 bends, corners and curves, with a very mild descent gradient that appears to be almost flat when driving it. The topography is magnificent as the river and the road follow each other faithfully through the towering cliffs of the Poort amongst dense riverine vegetation. The road is generally quite good through this section, and most people drive too fast, which means you see less. Expect to see a range of animals like kudu, reedbuck, baboons and monkeys, and more so if you drive through here early in the morning. As the road was carved out of the mountainsides, it left an open display of the various rock formations, which range from solid Table Mountain sandstone to the very unusual pebble conglomerate on the eastern side. Of the 7 passes and poorts in the Baviaanskloof, there are 5 which are proper passes and 2 which are poorts. These are Studis Poort and Grootrivier Poort. Poorts are of course different to passes in that they generally have very easy gradients as they follow the course of a river through a mountain range. They are also notoriously prone to flooding, and Thomas Bain famously recorded in his journal, "There are 3 major headaches for road builders. They are water, water and water." Adjacent to the entrance of the Brinkieskraal farmstead, the road descends quickly via a gentle right-hand curve towards the only crossing of the Grootrivier. There are various minor roads leading away to the left and right for the next few kilometers. These all lead to the riverside campsites of Brinkieskraal. Before this bridge crossing, the road first follows the Eisrivier, then the Witrivier, which are both tributaries of the much bigger Grootrivier, the latter which has carved a beautiful and spectacular canyon through the mountains to the north and has a huge drainage area covering many hundreds of square kilometers of the Great Karoo. Further north up this canyon is another serious gravel pass, the Antony'sberg Pass, which can be accessed via Patensie. Once over the low-level bridge, the road swings towards the south and follows the Poort on the left-hand side of the river. The walls of the Poort start closing in, and for the next 5 kilometers you'll be treated to a beautiful display of rock formations, greenery and animal life as the Grootrivier chugs slowly past on your right. Look out for the elusive malachite kingfisher, and one often sees kudu and of course the ubiquitous baboons who thrive in this Poort climate. The beautiful citrus-producing Cambria Valley, so named after its similarity to the Cambria area of Wales, plays host to a number of guest farms offering a range of accommodation from camping to B&B to self-catering. Here you can rent a modest timber cabin at Kudu Kaya or opt for the old schoolhouse known as the O Schoolhuisie, which can accommodate a larger group of people under one roof. Brinkieskraal Campsites is a very well-run establishment offering several secluded and isolated sites along the banks of the Grootrivier. In addition, they have charming thatched chalets which are attractively appointed and go under the name of Glencoe Chalets. Fire is the dominant natural disturbance in fynbos, and managing fynbos equates to managing fire. Fynbos plants and the animals inhabiting fynbos are adapted to fire, and many species require fire in order to complete their life cycles. Important aspects characterizing a fire regime are fire season, intensity and a fire return interval. A more difficult animal to spot is the buffalo. It's also known as the African buffalo and the Cape buffalo, as the buffalo is found in large herds across Africa. Buffalo occur in habitats ranging from dense lowland tropical forests, woodlands to savanna. Habitat selection is influenced by availability of food and water and by habitat features such as shade that enable the animals to regulate body temperature. Buffalo are dependent on water and need to drink regularly, at least once a day. High temperatures during the day result in nighttime grazing being favored during the warm season. For the birding fraternity, there's plenty to see in the Baviaanskloof. For example, the Hottentot buttonquail, which is a range-restricted fynbos endemic and may be the most thinly distributed of South Africa's endemic bird species and one of the least frequently recorded resident and breeding terrestrial birds. Another bird species worth looking out for is the orange-breasted sunbird, which feeds on the nectar of ericas. Be sure to watch part 2 of the Grootrivier Poort, which deals with the final 2 kilometers.